Hi, welcome to the second mini lecture of Module 4 on collaboration in community-based language learning programs. In this lecture, we are going to learn how to work collaboratively in community-based language learning. Now, let's move on to the third part of the lesson, the levels of collaboration in community-based language learning. As the term community-based suggests, collaboration needs to appear in all aspects of the learning and teaching community. In this part, we are going to discuss different kinds of collaboration in three main levels of community-based language learning: classroom-based, school-based, and wider community-based. The types of collaboration presented here are based on Johnston's division of collaboration levels in his research paper, Collaborative Teacher Development, published in the Cambridge Guide to Second Language Teacher Education, edited by Anne Burns and Richards. At classroom-based level, the two main types of collaboration within a classroom community is teacher-students and student-student. For the collaboration between teacher and students, the teacher normally needs to facilitate the students both in groups and as individuals. The teacher also has to consult the students on what topics they can choose for their projects, what methods are suitable to conduct the project, and where they can collect the information they need. When having face-to-face class meeting, the teacher needs to circulate around the classroom to observe each group's working progress in order to provide timely support. For the collaboration among students, all members in each group have to cooperate in discussion to choose the best practice in each stage of the project, reflection on what they have done well or badly in each stage, and feedback on what others have done so that the whole group can establish a better working plan for the next stage of the project. Within a school or institution, the staff can collaborate to make community-based language learning more likely to become successful. This level of collaboration includes three main relationships: teacher and fellow teachers, language teacher with subject teachers, and teacher, school administrators, supervisors. First, for the collaborating among language teachers, they can have regular discussions in faculty meetings, seminars, or informal conversations to exchange ideas and share resources. This is important because several teachers within a school can provide an overview of the learner's interests and language proficiency levels, so they can decide upon a project idea or plan that seems relevant and appealing to most students. This project idea can be the central topic for a school project that involves various classes with similar majors or interests at the school. Teachers can also practice team teaching or mentoring in order to improve their teaching skills and provide quality lessons to the learners. Second, the collaboration between a language teacher and subject teachers within a school is necessary when it comes to community-based learning projects. A meaningful project must be related to real-world issues, which means language teachers themselves may not have enough knowledge and skills to consult and support the students when they have difficulties in specific technological or scientific issues. So, language teachers should collaborate with subject teachers in the forms of team teaching, exchanging ideas to choose the most relevant project tasks, and dividing roles to support students during the project's implementation. This process of collaboration can be applied not only to one single class, but also to various classes across different faculties of the school. Last, the collaboration between teachers and school administrators or supervisors is crucial to the success of community-based language learning within a school, because all changes can only become successful if they are done systematically. In this relation, the teachers need to suggest ideas and present their plans to the administrators so that the administrators and supervisors can get to know the innovative methods in teaching and learning. Once the school authorities have understood the benefits and the procedures of the new practices, they will deliver relevant policies, school resources, and opportunities for publications of outcomes to support the new methods. Without the collaboration with school administrators, project implementation can become a real challenge for an individual teacher or a small group of teachers. There are 4 main relationships for collaboration at the wider community-based level, including the collaboration among different schools, between teachers and university-based researchers, among teacher-learners and learners' parents, and between teachers, learners, schools, and social organizations. The collaboration among different schools can be generated from the discussion between learners, teachers, or administrators of one school to another. If they find similarities in the learners' and teachers' interests or in the benefits to the local areas, different schools can collaborate to operate a big campaign or contest so that members of all participating schools can show their abilities in one meaningful project. The collaboration between school teachers and university-based researchers is important for the teacher professional development and community acknowledgement of the new practices. By attending workshops and conferences, or simply through personal conversations, teachers and researchers can support each other and bring benefits to the community as a whole. In one way, the teachers will provide the researchers with new ideas of innovative teaching and first-hand data from their own experience, which is vital for the researchers' study. In return, the researchers will provide theory-based advice on how teachers can improve their practice and make the practice widely recognized through formal publication. The collaboration among learners, teachers, and learners' parents is of importance for the success of community-based learning projects. If the parents do not understand the purpose of the approach, they may think that their children are being forced to provide labor in an inappropriate way, or that the children do not learn anything seriously at school. This way of thinking may lead to strong objection from the parents, which may cause a lot of legal issues to the schools and teachers. The learners, without permission from their parents, may hardly find time and resources to complete the project tasks. In contrast, if the learner's parents recognize the benefits of the practice, they may provide the teachers and especially learners with adequate resources and sometimes useful advice on real-world skills and knowledge. The collaboration between schools, teachers, learners, and social organizations is the most desirable relationship of community-based learning. On the one side, social organizations can provide schools, teachers, and learners with the project ideas which are of current need in the real world. These organizations can provide important data and resources of the specific issues they are dealing with and suggest the most relevant practice for each school or group of students. On the other hand, by launching and participating in real-world projects like that, learners, teachers, and school administrators can have awareness of the matters around them, and then can produce a project outcome which serves the society. If successfully established, this relationship will be beneficial to a wide range of people. Now, do you fully understand the different levels of collaboration in community-based language learning? Let's move on to the fourth part of our lesson today, the strategies to collaborate in community-based language learning. Before we come to detailed strategies to collaborate in community-based language learning projects, it is essential to remember some basic principles. These principles are important to maintain good collaboration no matter who you are, what project or program you are participating in, and what roles you play in the project. First and foremost, always show honesty, trust, and appreciation to your co-workers. When working in teams, it is really bad if one member does not trust the others or shows disrespect to other ideas. Such a negative practice may lead to more conflicts in all procedures of the project and quickly put an end to the cooperation of the whole team. Second, one feature of community-based learning project is to put participants to a new level of knowledge and skills. So, the collaboration in this practice is aimed at pushing all members to do things a little bit beyond their current levels. So, when designing activities and dividing roles in a project, it is important that people do not choose tasks which are too easy or too difficult for their current knowledge and skills. Third, when collaborating, all team members have to treat failure and mistakes as a source of lessons for improvement, not as evidence for blaming. No matter how serious a project may seem, it is just a learning process. So, failure and mistakes are unavoidable. The best thing to face with those mistakes is to reflect on it and get useful lessons from it for all members. Blaming someone for the faults do not solve the problems in the past and surely have negative influences on the future collaboration. The final principle of collaboration in the modern world is to use technology only as a tool, not as the focus. It is very important for all collaborators to keep in mind that all kinds of technology are their tools for communication and sharing, and the lack of access to excellent technology cannot stop them from exchanging ideas and sharing resources. The only disadvantage is that the process may take more time without proper technology. For project-based learning, collaboration can be a part of all stages. Now, let's look at collaboration in three main stages of community-based language learning: planning, implementing, and evaluating. In the planning stage of community-based language learning projects, participants can work collaboratively in each activities. In this module, we will consider some main procedures where collaboration is important. For further details and examples of the planning process, please refer to Module 5, Planning Community-Based Language Learning Programs, in this course. Collaboration is shown in the planning stage in 4 aspects: choosing partners, generating ideas, designing activities, and completing preparation. The very first issue in the planning stage for collaborative work is choosing partners. In the search for collaborators, it is advisable for teachers to choose people who share similarities with regards to beliefs and values of education, focus on student learning, approach as lifelong learners, and vision of the needed conditions. The partners should also be responsible, goal-oriented, and committed to continuous improvement. Besides, in order to collaborate effectively, it is necessary for all collaborators to agree on choosing one group leader. After all partners for the project have been selected, it is crucial that they make clear of some fundamental issues such as the learning goals and assessment, the method of classroom management, the ways to talk and engage with students, the physical arrangement of the class during face-to-face meeting, the ways to communicate with other stakeholders, and the things students need to collect for the project results. The second issue in the planning stage is generating ideas for the projects. In this step, it is vital for teachers and administrators to identify the topic and scope of their project, prepare the delivery schedule, including defining the tasks and activities, sequencing those tasks, estimating the resources requirement and task duration. Plan the role division during the project, like skill training, consulting, and supporting students, as well as plan the assessment of project outcomes. In this process, the more stakeholders are involved, the better the plan can become. The third issue in this stage is designing the activities. Designing the activities for a project consists of several steps as follows. Number 1, make a list of learning objectives. Number 2, decide on specific 21st century skills to address. Number 3, identify learning dispositions to foster. Number 4, establish evidence of understanding. Number 5, plan the vehicle or the assignment. And number 6, plan the entry into the activity to attract students. In each of these activities, the main teacher should discuss with their colleagues in all steps. Steps from 2 to 5 require the collaboration of project-based learning experts and school administrators. And while step 5 also needs contribution of ideas from the learners and social organizations. They will discuss the ideas together, review the existing plans together, and give feedback to make the project plan more practical and appropriate. A template for project design is included as Appendix 1 of this module. The last step in planning stage is to complete the preparation before starting the projects. This step is mostly done by the lead teachers and includes gathering resources, establishing milestones and deadlines, planning the teams of students, and choosing the most suitable tools for students' work. The first task is done with collaboration among the teachers, while the rest needs students to contribute ideas and teachers to make final decisions. For example, students may want to work with those comparable in abilities. But if the goal of the project is to help them develop different skills that they lack, the teachers will negotiate with the students to put them into groups of people who complement each other's attributes. Now, we have just finished the discussion on planning stage. Let's move on to the next stage, implementing the projects. The implementing stage is the core of a community-based language project and is when collaboration shows its values the most. In this module, we only mention some main procedures as the sample activities. For further details and examples of the implementing process, please refer to Module 6, Implementing Community-Based Language Learning Programs, in this course. Basically, all activities of this stage requires collaboration among participants. The first example activity in implementing the learning project is discussions. Discussions take place among different people within this process, between teachers and groups of students as a whole, between teachers and individual students when each of them needs particular support, among students of different groups to divide areas of interest or population for data collection, and among students within a group to exchange ideas, organize the tasks, share resources, and give feedback. The second example activity here is checking the students' progress in the project. This process requires the participating teachers to divide their roles appropriately, such as who is in charge of which groups or of which stage. For example, the subject teachers are responsible for consulting students at the early stage of the project to suggest advice on what topics to choose and what tools to use. The language teachers are responsible for supporting students at the final stage to edit their speech scripts, essays, articles, or even demo speeches. The third example is when students have low levels of engagement to the project because they do not have adequate skills to conduct the project, or they cannot access the information for the project, or they do not find the content of the topics interesting. In those situations, teachers can collaborate with social organizations to provide skill training and set realistic goals so that the students can complete the project. The social organizations can also help students to assess the resources they need for the project or consult the teachers to choose interesting, helpful topics for the project. After implementing the projects, it's time for evaluating. The evaluating stage is the final stage of a community-based language project, and this cannot be done without collaboration among the participants and the community at a certain level. In this module, we only mention some main procedures when collaboration shows its best values. For further details and examples of the evaluating process, please refer to Module 7, Evaluating Community-Based Language Learning Programs, in this course. At the classroom base, the collaboration is shown when students in one group cooperate to present the final product of their projects, when students of other groups give comments to the presenting group, and when teachers give feedback to each of the groups. A rubrics for evaluating the collaboration among group members is available as Appendix 2 of this module. At the school-based level, the collaboration among stakeholders is shown through commitment to others, the engagement of students, teachers, faculties, and school administrators. When community-based learning projects are applied at a school, the collaboration is shown through a systematic change in the pedagogy and learning orientation of that school. It means that teachers have helped students conduct successful projects. Several teachers within the schools have proved the effectiveness of this practice, and the school authorities have listened to the teachers' and students' desire and express ideas in order to bring favorable conditions for a new pedagogy to develop there. At the level of wider community, the collaboration is evaluated through the benefits of the projects to the community. In order to justify whether a project outcome is beneficial to the whole community, the project launcher will need the ideas from various stakeholders of that community. So, the evaluators here can be the social organizations or the learners' parents and other schools in the role as community members. That is the end of the second mini lecture on collaboration and support in community-based language learning. In this lecture, we have just studied the 3 levels of collaboration in accordance with 3 levels of communities in community-based language learning. We also have just studied the detailed strategies to collaborate in each stage of CPLL projects. I hope that you are now confident to start your project and plan the people you want to collaborate with. Thank you very much for your attention. Please join us at the third mini lecture to explore the kinds of support for your community-based language learning project. See you then!